I'm Jacqueline Luongo, VP of Business Development. I'm so excited for this webinar. It's perfect timing, holiday glow strategies. And we have Hula here and a new guest for Tiffany Rice. Dr. Rice is here. And Hula, go ahead and say hello. And then Dr. Rice, I'll have you introduce yourself since this is your first webinar with PDO Max. Dr. Rice, you can introduce yourself.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Hula was going to introduce herself.
That's right.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tiffany Rice. I'm a nurse practitioner. I'm based in New York City, and I have my own practice there. And I've been working with PDO Max for several years, and I've just now come onto the team with some marketing and education things, and I'm very happy to be here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome. Dr. Rice and I met back in the spring when we launched LúmEnvy Skincare, and you were really an important role where you were giving treatments to some of the editors, and we have gotten some press over that, and it's one of the reasons that we brought you on today for the webinar to talk about that synergy with the LúmEnvy clinic treatment and then the home care glow between kit and so much more. And Hula was also our other trainer that was able to give some of the editors a treatment with LúmEnvy Clinical, and some have written about the glow between kit and the synergy of LúmEnvy Clinical as well. So this is a really great moment for us and timing, because we are going to get into the treatment and the home care and talk about those experiences as well. So Hula, welcome. Introduce yourself for those that might not know you, but this is definitely not your first webinar with PDO Max.
Yes, hey guys, I've been with PDO Max for about 6 years, so it's probably not the first webinar. My name is Hula Castellon. I'm a nurse practitioner. I'm based in Los Angeles, California. I am the owner and founder of Uplifted Medical Aesthetics. And I actually do love combine different treatments, and I think this glowing between kit is godsend, especially around this time for the holidays, where the average consumer is still looking to glow, but also it can be a little bit challenging in today's world. So we have to listen also to what our consumer needs, and based on those needs, we tailor the treatment. So in-office treatments pair perfectly with what they can do for themselves at home as their, I like to say, daily exercise, because I can do only that much in my chair.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are really great points. And we're going to go through the agenda for today, but anybody that is here live, please, we encourage questions. We want this to be engaging. Ask us those questions. Know this is what the background is, and we want to hear from you. So please put a question in the chat if anything pops up for you. So the agenda is we're going to talk about holiday glow treatments. And yes, we will be focused on some PDO Max skin boosters and potentially glow pin or microneedling, but we're also going to talk about those stackable treatments and what else you're doing on top of, with the in-clinic treatment. So we want to hear from you, Dr. Rice. I know you do some LED panels with the treatment. Hula, I know you love to microneedle depending on the skin condition. So we're going to get into all of that. We're going to talk about holiday wow effects and how you're achieving that and preparing your patients for the holiday season, event planning, and what you have in store for events. I just saw that you even did something for the spooky week and month of Halloween for you, Hula. So I would love for you to talk a little bit about that at some point. Holiday retail strategies, and just pairing those in-office treatments with some home care. So let's get started. Next slide. So holiday glow treatments. Let's get into it when it comes to LúmEnvy Clinical. Let's start there. Both of you have been doing these treatments. Dr. Rice, tell us a little bit about the experience. Maybe use that experience that you were able to give to those editors where you really elevated the whole treatment in itself. So let's start from the beginning with that. And again, I would love anybody listening to ask us questions.
So I feel with any treatment, you really need to make it an experience for your patient, your client, when they come into the office. So when we did the LúmEnvy treatments for the editors, we had them come in, they, were met, we went over their skin, we did a consultation, had my assistant wash their face, apply the numbing cream so they could be comfortable. And I chatted with them a bit and did a consult, talked about what PDRN does, what it can be paired with, because I really like to do a lot of combination treatments. I mean, the glow pin alone is exceptional, but you can use the glow pin as an add-on to any laser or device that doesn't break the skin. You can also use the serum by itself if you are using a device or laser that's breaking the skin for like device or laser assisted delivery. But the PDRN is amazing because not only does it regenerate collagen and elastin and make the skin nice and hydrated, but it also promotes and regenerates wound healing. So if you're pairing it with any procedure that you're doing, whether it's microneedling, RF, lasers, etc., it's going to make the skin heal faster. It's going to amplify the results and they're going to be happy. But when we're talking about just a standalone glow pin treatment, I like to do a proper cleanse and exfoliation, numbing cream, doing the glow pin, followed by, we use the sheet mask that you guys have out now, the glow mask, and we paired them with LED lights based on what the patient needs. So if someone, for example, has acne prone skin, we would use blue lights. For anti-aging, we would use red and infrared, etc. So we really just made the whole thing an experience and everybody seemed to be really happy with it.
Absolutely. And when you're exfoliating, give us a few examples. I know at one point you talked about dermaplaning. What else do you do to prep the skin even before you numb them?
So it depends on what they're looking for. So if it's like when we were having the patients coming in and doing the glow pin standalone treatments, we were just using a cleansing exfoliator before. But we do have a treatment that we offer, my esthetician offers in the office, and it's called the trifecta treatment. And what it includes is a facial with either microdermabrasion, dermaplaning, hydrofacial, whichever is deemed necessary for that client's skin. Then she does a laser genesis, which is like a very light laser. Then she does the glow pin. Then she does the mask and LED lights. So it's a whole combination treatment. And of course, you can charge well for it. It's 90-minute treatment. Patients love how their skin looks after. But I really like add on glow pin to almost everything I offer it to patients because it really does make the skin beautiful and it gives it a very nice glow and bounce.
Absolutely. Those are really great tips. And that 90-minute treatment, say we were going to offer a treatment like that prior to the holidays, how many times could you do it before, Christmas time or in between? Like, are you doing it every 2 weeks? Are you doing it once a month? And is there downtime to it?
So if we're talking about the trifecta treatment that I just talked about, I recommend that patients do it every 6 weeks is what I recommend. They can come in for something in between, but because we're doing a laser as well, you do want to give the skin at least 4 to 6 weeks to go through the inflammatory process, etc. Now, that said, that's for somebody that has generally good skin when they come in and they're just looking for a glow. If somebody has acne, some sort of skin issue, that's a different story. We might see them once or twice a week until, we get their skin looking the way that we want it. But we're talking about someone who, generally speaking, has good skin, just wants to be more glowy, more hydrated. They would be a person every 6 weeks. If someone has issues with their skin, we would see them more often and we would adjust the treatment depending on what that issue was.
Right, absolutely. And home care could be the Glow Between kit, which we will showcase it in a few slides from here. And for those of you who don't know what LúmEnvy Clinical is, it is PDRN, niacinamide, glutathione, vitamin C, suspended in HA, and it is our skin booster. We also have PDO AfterGlo, which we're going to talk about that in a moment. And Hula, we're using one of your before and after pictures because that's a wow factor for sure. So these are some photos here, and Christina Delgado is also a trainer of ours that has spoken about LúmEnvy very often and PDRN. And Christina also has a specialty in preparing for brides. So this is very similar and aligned in this conversation, because some of the before and afters we're going to see throughout the slides, it's talking about prepping for special occasions, and everyone is looking for this glow. PDRN will create that glow along with some of these other services and pairing them together. A little bit deeper into PDRN, really it's AKA salmon DNA. We've also been have people call it salmon sperm, but PDRN really helps with brightening. And just like you said, Dr. Rice, it really helps with that wound healing process and boosting that brightening, hydration, and glow and youthfulness in the skin. So this is a great ingredient to be using when anyone is looking for that glow, anti-aging, and the brightening piece of it.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add too, because a lot of people don't know, salmon DNA is 97% similar to human DNA. So that's why the skin recognizes it instantly. And then it begins regenerating, activates fibroblasts, boosts collagen, calms inflammation. So it's very well received by the skin because we're so similar genetically. Our DNA is so similar to salmon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. Move on to the next slide. So this is the clinic treatment, some of the before and afters, and the PDRN and LúmEnvy, just skin booster in itself, that is a treatment that could be done every couple of weeks if you chose, with glow pin or with microneedling. And so this is something you can normally do and even boost some of those treatments, like you said, Dr. Rice, when you're in clinic, and just elevate a treatment at the end of a hydrofacial or add on to that day, because really anyone can benefit from PDRN.
Jacqueline, we skipped over the last slide. They looked similar. We went over one and didn't go over the second.
Oh, let's go back to the other slide.
Sorry, I don't want anybody to miss the information.
No, I love it. I love it. We'll talk more. It actually mimics everything that you just said, really, is that PDRN helps with that moisture, keeping the skin supple and radiant, and mimicking the DNA for us. And that's why we're recognizing it. And there is a story, Gio talks about this story a lot, where the European fishermen, that's how PDRN was discovered, that it had this healing properties to it, because they were cutting themselves and they were, just using the sources that they had, and that salmon sperm and that helped with the healing of their hands. And then fast forward into 1950s or so, it started being used in skincare, anti-aging, and here we are now with using it within skincare on a daily basis.
So what I love about LúmEnvy's formulation is that, PDRN alone is amazing. It's been clinically validated for years, and it does all the things. It does hydration, DNA damage, oxidative stress. It does glow. But what I really love that you guys did, even though PDRN is a superhero on its own, you guys gave a sidekick for everything that it does. So like you have, you put the antioxidants in there, the vitamin C, the glutathione that repair and that give the glow. You put the HA for hydration. I love that you guys gave sidekick ingredients to the already star PDRN, just to make sure that everything is as it should be.
It makes so much sense to just differentiate that. We get asked a lot what sets us apart, and it really is the combination of those ingredients, and on top of what's in LúmEnvy Clinical, and that those skincare ingredients that really do help with that anti-aging. We introduced a new ingredient that is a plant exosome, Centella azeica, which is in our mask that you mentioned that you use in your experience in your treatment. So really looking at and having a pulse on innovative ingredients and how they are helping with more of that progressive and more regenerative skincare and health, creating that optimal skin health without that downtime and without, harsh chemicals, and feeding the skin, nourishing the skin.
And the PDRN and niacinamide combo is really, really good for redness and inflammation. I love how you guys have double for everything that PDRN does. It has a little sidekick to help it out.
Love the way you put that too, for sure. All right. So this is microneedling with the PDRN with LúmEnvy clinical. And Julie, you do a lot of microneedling with AfterGlo and with LúmEnvy. Do you want to tell us a little bit about why you choose to do maybe glow pin over microneedling, or maybe some of the combo treatments that you do?
Yes, absolutely. So both are as a standalone amazing, absolutely amazing. But as Dr. Rice was saying, when somebody comes for a certain concern where we are trying to get them to a certain result, and they're coming to you with a chief complaint, like maybe it's acne scarring, maybe it's something like in the previous slide where the patient has such sun damaged skin, you know, like where for many decades you're submerging yourself to like skin neglect and sun overexposure, so we need something more collagen stimulating as far as not just infusing it, you know, like how glow pin would be for maintenance, but we actually need to really get there. So based on that, I choose either it's going to be skin pen or it will be glow pin. Like I said, both are amazing. With a skin pen, we're just creating microchannels. I can control the depth, like in this particular situation, deeper. I can go at max at 2.5 millimeters. But if I am seeing in my chair a patient in their 20s or in their 30s, and they don't per se have a specific concern, we're just trying to maintain and give them that glow and have them shine and radiate beauty, I would definitely do glow pin. It's simple and the numbing is way quicker, because to go at 2.5 millimeters, I personally numb with 30% LT for at least 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So I consider like a medical needling. But for the glow pin, there is no such need to do that. So mainly I go in the infraorbital foramen part, and just like that area tends to be a little bit more sensitive. But a lot of patients will even say that it's like they don't even require numbing. But we love to baby them. We love for them to have a great experience, come back and refer us their friends and write glowing reviews. So I numb everybody still, even if it takes a little bit longer. So in this particular patient, as you can tell, I had to be very careful because she's got melasma, but like look at her brightness. It's what is striking about LúmEnvy. And again, I'm using both, and many times I mix and match, like I'm trying to get all that goodness in there, you know, like half and half of AfterGlo and LúmEnvy. But I find that LúmEnvy literally gets that shine and glow, and it's so great for pigmentation, for stubborn like skin, you know, like for melasma where certain lasers can overheat it and cause more damage. And then even with skin pen, we'll have to be careful at which depth we're going. So it's very tricky, you know, like with pigmentation. So LúmEnvy is amazing for that.
That's great.
Like
We
just
had a
today, I
question.
did 2 of those.
That's great. We had a question come in that what is your measurement? How much AfterGlo do you use and LúmEnvy when you're doing a combination treatment like this?
I honestly do half and half. And if any of those you guys who felt the consistency, AfterGlo will be thicker because it's soaked in HA. It's like that nice gooey consistency. But then LúmEnvy is more on the thinner side, so it's more runny. So when I mix them both together, I feel like it makes it even more perfect. So I use half and half. AfterGlo has 10 mLs, LúmEnvy has 3 mLs. So you kind of can like plan, you know, like where you, my front desk is scheduling so that I can even you know, like use half from one bottle, half from another, and I can have it like last longer in a way. So basically, you don't have to do the whole
The
bottle.
consistency is perfect when you mix them together. The LúmEnvy alone is a little thin. The PDO is a little thick, and when you mix them together, it's the perfect consistency. And it lasts throughout the treatment because it's just right. You can really, like, I can do face, neck, and part of a chest when I mix them together.
Correct.
With one glow pin.
Yeah, that's true.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm doing a lot of those these days, and people love it. I mean, that's important because like we can do like convince them to do anything, but then after all, like if they don't come back, like we're losing them, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And then you're getting the benefit from the PDO powder with the PDO AfterGlo and more of that progressive even weeks later down the road. And you get that immediate result. You clearly see that when we're just working with LúmEnvy clinical, that glow and that brightening from the PDRN. So it is really the best of both because it has an even more long-term effect because of the afterglow.
So these two patients that you see on the right, that was one of my ambassadors, and she's absolutely glowing, but I still numbed her a little bit, of course. Good experience was important. And on the left, it's actually the laser patient. So every time we do laser, so that's a progress. I do believe the first one was taken in April of last year, and the second one was in August. So we did 3 sessions of erbium, and every time I use erbium, I put, once the skin is receptive and it's heated up, I just rub the LúmEnvy in there, and it's beautiful. I think that she's got really good results. Yeah.
Absolutely. Those are great results. Thank you for sharing those. Next slide.
So this is the PDO thread lift. So one thing that, well, maybe many of you guys already do this, but again, if it's repetitive, just tell me and I will not be talking about this. So when I do a PDO thread lift, I'm like, first of all, they're already numb. We already do all the tracks with Lido. They've already been through the worst, because honestly, the worst thing about threads is the lidocaine part. It's not as much as, you know, like the actual procedure. So while they're already numb, why not throw in some glow in there, you know? And then after that, they heal 2 weeks after, the threads settle, everything heals, and you get the glow, and it's like the best of both worlds. So absolutely. I think that's what I am showing it in here. I'm pretty sure, yes. PDO thread lift, that's 2 weeks in between, because I like to bring my patients in after threads 2 weeks after, just to capture that result.
Absolutely. That's a great combination. Next slide. That's a familiar face.
And actually, like, I don't know if you see the shine, like, because the lighting here is terrible, but like I actually did myself 2 weeks ago, and I think it's glowing. I mean, I'm like a working advertisement of myself. I get a lot of compliments, and people always ask. So yeah, so I did here, I believe I did the skin pen, but I didn't go deep. It was just, you know, like 0.25, and I use first AfterGlo, because when LúmEnvy came out a little bit later, so first I was using AfterGlo. Now I'm just mixing everything together.
Those are some great results.
Yeah, I feel like
again the pigmentation, like what is, like, because it's just so stubborn. Like even like in here, I mean, the pigmentation is really hard, like, to deal with. And like you do 1,000 things right, and then you do one thing wrong, and it's like, again, you're set back.
Reverses it. If the sun, or not putting on your sunscreen, it's so important. Dr. Rice, what were you going to add?
I was just saying, I love the the combination of the PDRN and the AfterGlo, I feel like it gives the skin more structural support and cellular repair. So like you can always see when you add in the AfterGlo, it just makes it a little bit better, especially from an anti-aging standpoint, because you just see more structure to the skin. I feel like it gets bouncier.
Yeah, great points. Absolutely. I'm glad we have both to offer. And oh, your laser patient, Hula. I remember this picture. I love this. Look at the brightening in her skin. It's unbelievable.
This is like, that's actually one of the points I wanted to make here today. So, and this patient on the right, I'm glad you included her as a perfect example. So I've been seeing her since 2016, like literally almost a decade. So all of my clients are mostly like my age. So I am, full disclosure, 43. So like when we're starting at a certain age, right, we're drawn towards certain treatments. Then those days are gone with a wind, like gone with my youth, honestly, where I was roasting in the sun in Miami. So now this, right, pigmentation. So when you're in your 30s or in your 20s or in your 40s, like obviously you require different treatments. So many times for those who have been in aesthetics for a longer amount of time, you will see that people will say like, well, why, like we used to do certain things and now it doesn't work anymore, or like I used to cover my whole face with 20 units of Botox, or just do 2 threads and it lasted me for 10 years. Like it doesn't work like that anymore. And the example is this patient. So like whatever we used to do, and the conversation was very straightforward. Look, the older the house, the more work you will need. Like it's not just enough to keep painting over and over with Botox, you know, like foundation is rotting, the pipes are bad, like everything, you know. I'm just like, I hope you guys understand I'm joking. I don't talk like this to the patient.
No,
but
great way to put it. Yeah.
You know the point I'm trying to make. So like at some point we need to fix the structural support. We need to lift it up with threads. We need to fix foundation. And then only then it's as a cherry on top is your lips, which is why originally sometimes a majority of the patients are coming to us for. So these days I face like especially now that I'm in my like 40s, I have a lot of conversations with them about skin. Like it's all about skin. So any treatment I do, whether threads, fillers, the huge emphasis is on skin. And I'm really glad that threads give me that opportunity with Smooth to address this. Now we'll have skin boosters too, like on top of that, work with sugar and quality. Because the truth is, even if I freeze you with whatever you're used to, you know, like hundreds of units of Botox, or overfill you, like that work won't shine if you have bad quality of skin. And one of my favorites, she's not even like classically beautiful, you know, like one of my favorites, because I love her charisma, or like charisma, how you say, Meryl Streep. So sometimes I look at her at the red carpet and the way she turns and smiles, and you can see wrinkles, but the skin is so glowing and it's just all shiny and pretty. That's actually, to me, more attractive than somebody who's completely perfect, and like that perfect foundation, but you can tell they're hiding something underneath that, you know. So I tend to attract those clients who believe that philosophy too, with, you know, like make a 12-month treatment plan, address certain issues, but know that it's not a race. It's going to take time. And the skin boosters like give the perfect opportunity to like to support that culture that I'm trying to create here. So it's not like a one-night stand over here. It's like a long-term commitment.
This patient is a perfect example of that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So now guess what? I see her like she's very busy. She's owns like several restaurants, and she's quite famous here in LA, and I'm actually grateful she allows me to share her photos. I don't even remember when I last time did her filler, like, because it's just all about skin. She's gorgeous and glowing.
Thank you. Next slide. So again, LúmEnvy diminishing the appearance of those fine lines with PDO AfterGlo. This synergy of Glow Pin, LúmEnvy, and the PDO AfterGlo is just such a great trio. And like you said, also, Dr. Rice, it's just something. Look at the forehead area. Look at even the pigmentation. You see that. You see the suppleness in the skin, and I like how you say it gives that bounce. It really does. You start to see that. Feel that elasticity coming back, and it really is from that infusion, because you can control, from an aesthetic standpoint, you can control where you're infusing it. That's what I love about the Glow Pin, because there are other stampers out there, but you don't have the air pump where you actually have control over where you're infusing it and where, at what point you're pumping.
I've used them all. Glow Pin is so precise as compared to the other ones, because you're in control of where you pump it. You don't have to rely on the little ball in the middle to be flush to make it come out and it's dripping everywhere. You're in full control of it. And it's also faster because you only have to do a single pass. You're not like stamp trying to get the liquids to come out. So there's no priming and prepping. One little pump, you see the little liquid come out and you're good to go. I am never going back to any other stampers. Glow Pin's the only one I use. It's made microchanneling seamless in my office. It's so precise, and the cartridge is so much bigger than the other ones too, so you can use more product as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and again, you're not relying on gravity. You actually have control over where you are infusing,
and I think
it shows.
Something that I do as well, I always have my assistants clean the face, neck, and chest, or even the hands. When I have Glow Pin left over, I'll always say like, oh, we have a little left over. Let's do your neck. Let's do your chest. Let's do your hands. And I don't charge them for it. And that leaves a conversation that you should be taking care of all of your skin. Next time you have your laser, why don't we do your neck? Why don't we do your chest? Why don't we do your hands? So you're opening a conversation to get them to pay attention that there is skin covering their whole body, not just on their face. And like popular areas that I'll do: face, neck, chest, hands, but also like above the knees, elbows, like inner thighs, like those little areas that start to get saggier faster than any other area. It works well in those areas. If somebody just had a baby and their skin on their stomach's a little loose, and you do a laser or a device and then you do a Glow Pin on top of it, it really does help to firm it up. It's a booster to every treatment that you do. So you're just amplifying your results, and it's inexpensive to add in, and you can just charge it as an add-on. I have like a standalone price for Glow Pin, but then if it's as an add-on to another treatment, it's a little bit discounted to encourage people. People always want to save money. So if they say, oh, it's this much off if I do it now, yeah, add it in. So you always have a opportunity to discuss other parts of the body, because skin covers us head to toe. We don't only have skin on our face. Another thing I will say, if you guys aren't doing the Glow Pin on the lips, do it on the lips as well. Lips are skin too. They age also, and they need the hydration and the collagen stimulation and all the things. Our lips are the fullest they're ever going to be between age 14 and 18, and then they kind of start shriveling after that. So make sure you're stamping the lips. They won't like you when you're doing it, but they'll thank you after.
Absolutely.
Do you also do the upper lids?
Yes, I'll pull up and I'll get everything here, and then I'll pull down and I'll get everything here.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You got to get everywhere.
That's right. That's right.
I also have conversations with my patients too about, the skin. It's not only what you do on the outside, it's what you do on the inside too. So when you're doing these treatments, talk to your patients. Are they hydrating? Are they drinking enough water every day? Do they eat fruits? Do they eat vegetables? Do they smoke? Do they drink a lot of alcohol? Because I had a patient that is, a lot of my patients I'll do like annual plans with, and she would come every single month and do all the things. Time and budget weren't an issue for her. And I just could never get her skin to get this, like she had this like dryness and this redness that no matter what I did wouldn't go away. Then I didn't see her for 2 months, and she came in and I was like, oh my God, your skin. And she's like, oh, I quit drinking. I haven't drank in 60 days. So all the treatments I were doing didn't have the effect that her quitting the alcohol did, because she constantly had the dehydration from the alcohol, the redness from the alcohol. So there's only so much you can do from the outside too. So you also have to have conversations with people about their lifestyle, because cutting something out or adding something in could be the difference between you getting a good result versus you getting an excellent or a great above average result.
Those are great points. And to echo even also, Hula, you talk about sun damage a lot, especially being in California and when you were in Florida. Those are really additional points to have conversation about, to not reverse what you're doing in the treatment and also at home with the home care. Dr. Rice, we had a question come in. How many treatments do you start a patient with, meaning the series that you're doing when you're doing these annual plans and when you're spacing those appointments initially?
So my plans are all customized and tailored to each patient and what they're, so when I sit down with the patient, what I'll tell them is I'll say, okay, if you had all the time and all the money in the world, then we would do something different. But I find out what their time constraint is. Can they give me downtime? Can they not give me downtime? How many times a year can they come to the office? I have a lot of patients that don't live in New York City and come to see me. So I need to find out how many times a year are they willing to come in? And then also how much money are they willing to spend? And then we prioritize from there. Obviously, your perfect patient says, I have no job, I can have all the downtime and I have all the money, we can do everything, but that's not realistic. That's not everybody. You get a few of those, but that's not realistic. That's not everybody. So I sit down and I first have a conversation about time and money, because what good is a plan if they don't have the downtime or they don't have the money? You have to meet your client's individual needs. And then also, what does their skin look like? So like if I was doing, let's say, for example, you or Hula, who pretty much has perfect skin, it wouldn't be the same as if I had somebody coming in that had acne or wrinkles or a ton of sun damage. So I do a lot of combination treatments in my office. The only people that really get just glow pin are people that have really good skin. And then I'll always have a conversation with them about adding something in for their collagen bank for the future, like a BBL, some intense pulse light treatments, or like laser genesis, something light. And those pair really well with the glow pin, and you can do them the same day. And then also if someone has issues with, like a little trick I do with my glow pin a lot, if somebody has treatment resistant rosacea or treatment resistant acne, you can add Botox, 20 to 40 units, depending on the patient. Start low and ease up as you need. Put the liquid into your glow pin with the mixture. And when you stamp it into the skin only like that, it doesn't reach the muscle. So you don't have to worry about, paralyzing muscles on their face or anything. But what it will do is, for acne, it'll shrink their sebaceous glands, which will make their breakouts less frequent, less severe. And also, even if they don't have acne, shrinking your pores in general will make your skin smoother and more glowy. And then for rosacea patients, adding in the Botox will shrink or constrict those superficial vessels, so they'll get less flushing and less redness. That little, I mean, if you don't work in a med spa or in a doctor's office, then you obviously don't have access to Botox. But if you do, adding it in can really improve the results for people that have problematic skin. And you could just upcharge for it. You can charge an add-on for Botox, but that will make it work even better. I mean, you already have the ingredients in both solutions that help with, redness, inflammation, all those things. But whenever you have something like Botox and you add it in, now you're doing more of like a prescription plan, and it's becoming a lot more medical, but it works and it's great. But you can when you're thinking about your patients, my advice, think combination. Ask yourself, A, what are these patients' problems? What do I see as their problems? And then B, what do they see as their problems? What are their goals? What's important to them? Because if someone comes in and I'm like, her skin is, and then she's just like, I think my skin's great, I just have these couple little crow's feet. You know what? I'm going to shut up and I'm going to treat her crow's feet. If she's happy with her skin, I'm not in the business of pointing out people's flaws. But eventually people, once you do something and they like it, they'll say, well, what else can I do? And then you can guide them. But think about, what are their issues? And then what do I have in my toolbox and what is it capable of doing? Because if you do a treatment on somebody with the intention of treating something that treatment's not capable of doing, no matter how good your treatment is, you're not going to have a happy patient. So just always ask yourself before you do any treatment, any service on somebody, what is this treatment capable of doing? And are these capabilities going to address or the issues or reach the goal that this patient has in mind?
Those are great points. And also, anyone who has not used a glow pin yet, we certainly encourage you to please reach out to us to learn more about glow pin. Glow pin is the device that you see here in the middle of the photo. It is our multi-needle stamper. There's 19 needles, they're 32 gauge, and it's a 0.5 depth. So exactly what both Dr. Rice and Hula are speaking about, that infusion is perfect for just boosting and elevating and adding it on. And I find it to be quite comfortable. I don't think that it is uncomfortable in comparison to a lot of other services. And we don't talk about it enough, but IPL and glow pin paired is brilliant. When you have your LúmEnvy with your, PDO AfterGlo, brilliant treatment. I think we should actually do some more studies on that, because I've in person seen amazing results with that two combinations.
Yeah, I love it with IPL, BBL. I love it with laser genesis. It's also really good with, like, if you're doing like a skin tight, or if you're doing like the radio frequency with the ultrasound gel, which a lot of estheticians do, and you do it right on top. It just makes everything better. Glow pin just makes everything better because of the solution, the depth that's going in the skin. Whatever treatment you're doing that's aimed at anti-aging, if you add the glow pin in, your patient's going to be happier.
Great. Absolutely. And Hula, this is your patient, and you did a combo on her? Is this AfterGlo and LúmEnvy, right? Oh, did we lose you? I do believe that this was, because I know we've used this before and after before, this is PDO AfterGlo with the glow pen. So you can move on to the next slide. I don't know if maybe your audio might have a little issue, Hula. I couldn't hear you. All right, let's get into event planning and Glow and Tell. I love that name. It makes so much sense for PDO AfterGlo and LúmEnvy, and the launch of our retail product and skin tools. So I have some ideas to share, but I would love to hear from both of you first. What are you doing for the holidays? Are you planning events? Are you planning promotions or packages? Share what you're up to this year.
I don't ever do events. My team wants to, but I'm just like, everybody wants to drink at the events, and I don't drink, and I don't promote drinking because it's bad for your skin. Like, and like people want to do all these events with alcohol, and I'm just like, I'm not going to give them the thing I'm telling them not to do. So I'm not a huge event person, but we do, for what we do in our office for like our VIP patients, the patients that come and they're loyal and they're consistent, we'll offer like a little gift for them. But we do little promos in the office, both with product sales and with treatments and things like that. So I think you really need to know your patient base, know what their price points are, what's going to be exciting for them, need to know what the majority of your patients do or like, because you don't want to make a million things. You want to have it to 1 to 3 things that you're offering so that it's easy to talk about and easy to show. But yeah, we're doing some add-ons is what we're doing at a better rate. The adding on the glow pin, adding on a facial to your treatment. I have a new esthetician that I'm trying to boost her clientele, so we're doing an add-on with a facial and a glow pin where she does the treatment at a discounted rate from what I charge. So I think anything that you're promoting, if you can make it make sense to your patients, they're going to want it, especially if you have something complimentary, or if it's at a price point that is for a short duration of time, a limited price point, they're going to want to take advantage of it.
Yeah. And there's like always that added value piece of it, as well as now that we have these skin boosters, but now the Glow Between kit or even retail product that supports it, having a combination of something that has a little added value to incentivize the patient to either purchase the series of it and then make sure that they're taking treatment kit home, that then they're just going to get better results anyways, and it just elevates all of it. So I've seen that. I have a few of our accounts that are doing in-person events, and they are charging for sort of that, just holding their space for the event in itself, doing mini treatments, doing demos, and then of course having an incentive to purchase product. And this is the first time PDO Max has had product to have you go home with as a patient. And we have the skincare tools. We're going to get into all of that. But what an amazing compliment. I feel like that really helps to create that full circle experience, whether it's maybe someone gifting these series or a product potentially, because that kit could really benefit anyone, but or them prepping and treating themselves as the patient to either get ready for the holidays or you know, a nice kickoff for the new year and a new start. Hula,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Go ahead, Dr. Rice.
I was just going to say, I always prefer to have, you know, you do this and you add on this and you get, you know, it at a special price versus just discounting something, because you don't want them to come and do what they usually do and pay less. You want them to come and do what they usually do and also do something else and spend more. So I like add-ons for our holidays and our specials. We always do add-ons at a special pricing.
Hula, what are you doing for this season to come? Hear us? Hula? Oh, she can't hear us. Hula, can you hear us? Are you muted maybe? What are you doing for the holidays? Or I can come back to you. Did I lose you? Well, I know that Hula was doing a series package for even the Halloween month, because I watched one of her Instagram stories recently, and it was super fun to just see some of those ideas. As a company, we are doing, of course, Black Friday that will extend to the accounts that we have, so that it's a nice synergy in that sense. And so what we really like to encourage is that added value, and whatever that may look like, because just like you said, Dr. Rice, we are able to add on and have that complement to what they're already booked for or what they're looking to purchase in packages. So I've seen a lot of different ways that events can roll, but mostly the objective being retailing product or doing packages, and that limited time offers. That's really where having a goal, setting that goal, and making it fun, making it shoppable. I think that it is important throughout the holiday season, just having the merchandise be eye-catching and, you know, inviting for you to shop and not intimidating, to be able to just touch and feel and experience what those devices may be, those skincare tools that we have, because this is really exciting for PDO Max to have everything that we've added this year under the LúmEnvy skincare category. I think we lost Hula for a moment. Hopefully she can come back.
Hopefully she'll come back. Anything that has to do with events or patients in general, even if it's whether it's a one-on-one consult or you're doing an event, just remember to combine education with experience. Okay. So like showing them live demos, giving them exclusive bundles, letting them know the science behind their glow, because people really do want to know what they're using, how you're going to use it, and why they're using it. And that's what I always find. I have a very high retention rate. When patients come to me,
Sure,
I have a very high rate of them coming back. And what a lot of them tell me after their experience with me is they always just say, this has been so great. I've never had anyone explain to me like this before. I've never had anyone be so thorough before. So when you talk to your patients and you say, this is going to make your skin glow, tell them why, how it's going to make their skin glow, so they can understand the ingredients and make it in an easy way for them to understand. You know, like, oh, PDRN, it's 97% similar to human DNA. The salmon DNA is, that's why we use salmon sperm. And then they're like, oh, I didn't know that. That's why your skin recognizes it. That's why it's so good for repair. That's why it gives hydration. It gives, you know, all the things. It helps with inflammation. And then they're like, oh, wow, that makes sense. When things make sense, people like them. So make things make sense for your client. And not only that, when you give them instructions, like when you say, don't wash your face for 6 hours, don't just say, don't wash your face for 6 hours. Tell them why. Don't wash your face for 6 hours. You have this amazing serum on your face and you want it to infuse for at least 6 hours. If you feel yucky after 6 hours, you can wash. If not, go to sleep in it. But tell them why they're doing the things they do, why they're more likely, A, to follow your rules. And that when they understand things and things make sense, they tell their friends about it. And then their friends say, well, how do you know all this stuff? And then their friends want to go to who they're going to because they're smarter than their person. So educate your patients. Make sure you're combining education with experience every time you talk to your patients.
That's great. And those little tidbits from even, we talk about that a lot of even why we introduced the Glow Between kit, because understanding ingredients and how they work, what you use at home is important. So if you don't have those same ingredients or similar ingredients, maybe they're a little bit of a lower percentage. And just like with the Glow Pin, it's a 0.3 depth versus the 0.5 that you can get in clinic, but it still helps to maintain and why it works together. So is
and
it
make
great?
sure they know that too, like how you said,
Exactly.
the different depths, so they understand that there is a benefit to still coming to the office and get it. Because if they think they have the same thing you have, they're gonna like, oh, I'll just do it at home. What do I need to come in for? So you have to educate them, let them know this is an at-home kit. You know, the serum is very good, but it's not the same medical strength that we use here. It's more shallow. It doesn't go as deep. So don't worry. You're not going to hurt yourself. Just do single, and you explain it to them. This is for in between to keep your glow. Then they don't think that they're doing the same treatment that you're doing. They understand there's a difference between the two treatments.
Yes, absolutely. And again, to mimic what you are doing in clinic with lower percentages, but that each daily, the daily use of PDRN at a smaller percentage of how much better your in-clinic treatment will be. And on the flip side, if someone isn't ready, or maybe they're doing other services, but they want to start to boost their skin with PDRN, or even with some of the skincare tools that we have, that's a preparation towards whatever goal you may get into down the road. And so having that treatment plan, it can be a treatment plan in clinic, but also at home. It's a win-win for both, because you're getting better enhanced benefits when you're coming in. Hula, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can, guys. Thank you for being patient.
Wonderful. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Share with us what your holiday plan is for promotions and strategies on if maybe you're doing an event or doing any sort of holiday promotion.
Yes, totally. So I heard kind of Dr. Rice was talking about education of patients, right? So I actually do love the mini events, and I have just recently done, so we try to plan them like every 2 months, I would say, depending on the season. So I feel like this time is like our time to shine. There's like so much going on, and every month it's something to look forward to. So we just finished our glow event, which was Shed the Dead. And now we're planning Go and Glow in December. So what it is actually, like, I agree, confused mind does not buy. You have to educate people, even if, let's say, that's the most expensive product on the planet, and you lay it out for them and it is free. They will be just okay, like they will not appreciate this or know this. It's like, do you understand the value of everything you're getting? They won't, and that's okay, because we didn't do our part on educating. So when I do the events, and I do see the difference, right? I would actually designate a person or like a staff member or somebody who, like in my clinic, it's me, because I do know my threads and my PDO Max products, to educate, like Dr. Rice said, like what it does, what benefits you will see, and actually like tell them the clinical studies, tell them the percentages, because for a reason it is used, right? Like even in literature, like with specific like address and terminology, where and why. Otherwise it just doesn't sound convincing. And another point, we're not trying to convince anybody. We are educators, we're medical professionals, and we are telling clients our knowledge from years of experience, from what we study daily. We do that for a living, right? So when I go to somebody who does a certain thing for a living, like accountant or like realtor, I would assume like I hate numbers. I'm not friends with numbers. I know my thing in the room, but I would rely on somebody professional to tell me. And we need to kind of like get away from the mentality, like many providers who told me they feel like, well, I'm not a salesperson. I don't feel like, we're not selling anything. We're just educating people of what this product does. And yes, like for everything we want in life, we need to pay. We want that, like we want that glow. We're not removing your gallbladder so you could leave, you know. Like unfortunately we have to pay for that, but we will yeah, so we do that event with glow pin. We're gonna pair it up um, with Botox, glow pin. I will do threads and I will add on, it's actually called Uplift and Glow. That's one of our specials. um, and I will add on the LúmEnvy and AfterGlo as an add-on towards the anybody who does full face of threads.
Okay, awesome. That's great.
And
All
okay,
right,
awesome.
let's move.
I just
Thank
died inside
you.
a little bit because I thought I don't hear you guys again. But
No, that's
yeah.
perfect. Perfect.
Yay.
We can hear you. Let's move on to the next slide. Thank you both for sharing your ideas for this. And we've gone through, these as well, even stocking stuffer piece, like if we're making it more shoppable, having that more impulse items, we have some options for that with the facial sculptor, and we'll get into some of the visuals shortly. So next slide.
And that onyx gua sha is really cute.
Yes, right?
But yeah, it's different.
Absolutely. And the glass skin brightening serum is in the Glow Between kit. This is a product that can be used daily. I find it to be a wonderful primer if you are wearing makeup, or Gio always talks about, you really, when your skin is at optimal health, you don't even need to be wearing makeup anymore because you have this glass skin, using the mask more frequently, using the glass skin brightening serum. It really helps to boost just that glow and even skin tone as well. So this has the PDRN, niacinamide, the plant exosome that I spoke about earlier, Centella azaica, and we're using this morning and night, and this is part of the ritual in the Glow Between kit.
And a little tip, whenever you're offering any service or selling any product, you should be looking at the key ingredients, and you should know what they are and what they do and be able to explain it at an 8th grade reading level in 1 or 2 sentences. And if you don't know, just use ChatGPT. You never want to be in a position where somebody's like, ooh, adenosine, what's that? And you're like, it's just a really good ingredient that makes your skin look nice. Like, you want to be able to explain it to them. So anytime you're using anything, make yourself little flashcards, study, and the more you study it, the more it'll become firsthand knowledge to you, and then it'll just come off the tip of your tongue. That's how you become an expert. You're not born an expert. You consistently do things, and then they just become a part of your knowledge base.
Yeah, absolutely. And
people feel excited to do something at home, which they're getting in the office. So if you think about it, there's so many of those, like there's a variety, like we're overblown with products, right? Like you go anywhere, there's like products. So there's like certain companies that they say Botox in a bottle. And like I had this conversation today with one of my patients. Oh, but I get that it's Botox in a bottle. Like it's, you know, because you can't get Botox at home. Like it's something in the office, and then you get to do this at home. So they're more likely to get it. So like if you position like that, where it's really an office treatment, but what I do to you, think of it as a boot camp. Like it's just like resetting. I can do that much. You take this home and that's your daily exercise, because I can do only that much over here. You have to do your part too, kind of. And that's exciting for them, that they feel like they're getting medical, but they're still continuing with it at home.
I think their success at home is just as important what they're doing in clinic. And from an aesthetic standpoint from years ago, one of the biggest things that's always stuck with me, and even taking my professional hat off if I'm a consumer, I care what it's going to do for me. So selling what it does is less than what it is, because what does niacinamide do? What does PDRN do? Like all of these key high points to why this is good, it's selling your skin is going to love this for these reasons. And it's obvious when we show the, you know, the brightening, the anti-aging, the bounce to the skin, the way that we're describing it with that passion, because we see it, we see what it does. And that's why it made sense to even put it into retail, you know, ritual kits and products. Next slide. So here
I love the name ritual kit, by the way. That's what I say, my rituals, my daily rituals that I do for like my skin and teeth and all the things. I love that you guys called it a ritual kit. I love it.
So the treatment kit, really, and ritual kit can be used. It's about 2 months supply. It retails for $249. Our accounts obviously are purchasing it for wholesale price, so it has a great ROI, that profit of $124. It has that glass skin brightening serum that you can use daily. You can stagger the masks and potentially use the mask 2 weeks after you've done your in-clinic treatment, and then a week after, you can then boost it with the pre-filled glow pin stamper, and there's 2 of them in this kit. And what's so great about this is, again, it is not the clinic strength that we're using in our treatment rooms, but it does have PDRN, it does have vitamin B in it, it does have that HA, so you're getting a taste of it to continue that maintenance without the strength that you're doing in clinic. So that's really where the synergy makes sense, that working together. And it's a 0.3 depth versus the 0.5, which is what we use in clinic. Great gift too. I would love to receive this gift. And it's, when we think about that luxury skincare experience and the simplicity of it, it's great. There's a QR code to show how to use it. And now we're starting to get a lot of buzz, you know, of course, thanks to you, Dr. Rice and Hula, for treating our editors. And now we've got a ton of influencers out there, and this is one of them doing the Glow Between kit.
And I like the word maintenance. I feel like it's important to let your patients know there's a difference between treatments and maintenance. So we have in-office treatments and we have at-home maintenance. Both are important. They work together. It's not one or the other. You do both, and make sure they understand the difference between the two. Why we do ones in the office versus why you do what you do at home.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey guys, it's my day off, which means no makeup, no sweat, just me and my skin. And you guys know I'm a dancer and a freelance artist, so when I get to slow down, skincare is my self-care.
I just started using LúmEnvy skincare, and it's made by the same people behind PDO Max, the med spa brand, so it's giving me professional level results but from home. Our glow pin I'm using here is a microneedle inspired tool with PDRN, B12, and amino acids. What I love is that it bridges the gap between med spa treatments and everyday skincare. After After their glow pin, I'm putting on one of their Pro Collagen sheet masks for deep hydration and a radiant glass skin finish. Set my timer for 15 minutes to make my coffee and check some things off my to-do list. After my mask, to finish off, I'm putting on their serum. The serum has Centella asiatica, that's a soothing plant extract that calms redness and brightens your skin, plus PDRN, which comes from salmon DNA to help your skin repair and glow. So yeah, this is me glowing between gigs. Big thanks to LúmEnvy Skincare for keeping my skin happy while I'm off the clock.
She's a rockette in New York City, Dr. Rice.
Oh, great. It's a really great video.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Next slide. So here are some of our tools. And we spoke earlier about how great dermaplaning can be to prepare the skin. So this is a dermaplasion tool. It's a combination of a dermaplaning blade. So that's one option as one of the tips. And then a dermabrasion tip as well for exfoliation. So we do have replacement blades. We've been asked that, and those are available as well. This is a great tool to use on a weekly basis. And also in between when you are preparing to use that Glow Between ritual kit. Great compliment to it. I love dermaplaning my skin. I think my skin always absorbs product so much better after you've dermaplaned. And I do it in combination with the Glow Between home care now. Next slide. We also have facial sculptor incorporating LED lights for acne, for anti-aging, and there's an infrared component to it as well. Retail for this is $30. Some of our accounts are wholesaling it, so please reach out to info@PDO Max, and we can share with you some of the bundle packages, especially around Black Friday and any promotions that you may be doing for the holidays. It's not too late. Now is the time to start planning and executing a great holiday season. Next slide. And our infrared mask and LED lights. This is a fantastic mask for it has the blue light, it has the pink light, it has the red light, and it is retails for $250, wholesales for $175. Great gift. I feel like everybody should have one of these masks and be using it at least once a week, if not more. Next slide. Delgado, I brought her up earlier. She's one of our trainers, a huge fan of PDRN. This is when she first started testing the mask, she sent us these pictures and she loves LúmEnvy and is obsessed with the mask. She's using it in almost every single treatment she's doing in her clinic. And so love those before and afters. And of course, this is also great photos from using the salmon DNA mask, the deep hydration mask, that's the glass skin sheet mask. We're using it as practitioners in clinic, but it's also used at home because it is in the Glow Between kit. There's 5 in one box. I love it. And you also see, again, PDRN targeting that inflammation. I love that close up before and after from using the Glow Pen. So this is also another, one of the patients was someone I treated a while ago with LúmEnvy and using the sheet mask. And Hula, maybe you could share the quick tip that you give some of the practitioners out there when you've done trainings. I prepped her skin, we dermaplaned, and then I remember we did the glow pin with LúmEnvy and then did the sheet mask. But are you sending people home with the sheet mask? How are you incorporating it because of time frame? Share a little tip with that. I love it. Can't hear you. Wait, are you muted? Oh, we can't hear you. Well, she sends her patients home with the mask on and says, leave it on for 20 minutes or more. And I love that because it's also time frame. So it's the end of the treatment and she sends them home with it. And the other thing is the package in the mask, there is so much serum left over. Dr. Rice, what do you do with it? Do you tell them to do you make sure you get it on their neck? You can't waste that.
I roll it and squeeze it out and I put it on their neck and chest when I put them under the lights. And then if there's enough on the hands, I'm like, we can't let this go to waste. And I just squeeze it out like toothpaste.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is just after one treatment. Look at those before and afters with LúmEnvy and the glass skin mask. So great. Next slide. Sorry, Hula, we couldn't hear you. They still can't. No. This another great, I wish Hula could speak about this, but another great success story with inflammation. And of course, there's some breakout there, and look at the clarity, the brightness in their skin. Beautiful results.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I did your story justice when it comes to the mask.
Yeah, so in the to the mask. So because we drive so far here in LA and there's always sun, and I absolutely hate to lose all this goodness of the skin, you know, and then plus we made micro channels and some people can be sensitive. So like it's a gray area, but like we should always put sunscreen on, you know, technically. So what I do, I just put it on and then I put a hat on top of them and say just drive like that, like, you know. So I just let them go, and by the time you get home you take it off. That way I also save time at the clinic, that I don't have to have a patient occupy the room for like extra 20 minutes or for however time, and it seems to be working and everybody is loving it. I think it's a good tip.
Yeah. Thank you. Next slide. Single-use application of just the mask. Those are some really great before and afters with the mask. You can see in the forehead, just the suppleness. Again, Dr. Rice, the bounce in the skin, the brightness, the glow. It's obvious. And even the diminishing of our fine lines. It's a perfect special occasion mask. And Christina speaks of that very often when she tells her brides to use the mask the night before their big day. Next slide. Here is some of our press recently, and we were mentioned in New Beauty, so please check out the recent New Beauty in print and Cosmo, talking all about salmon DNA. And we also had a billboard recently to kick off the launch in New York City. That was so exciting. That's the team. Next slide. This is a great video.
I love those gloves they have on. They're like sparkly.
Right. That's Sammy. That's one of our estheticians. She does some really great video content. This patient's skin is glowing after. And she does the LED lights like you. Great.
LED lights really take it home.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it definitely does. Again, why we chose to incorporate that into some of the retail offerings. So we had a few of those questions. If there's any more questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us as a team, and info@PDO Max. Please follow us on social media. I'm always sharing Hula's content, Dr. Rice as well. And we're so happy and so proud that you were able to be part of this journey and the launch of LúmEnvy Skincare. We are so excited about the holiday season. Thank you for all of your tips and expertise and passion. I know how much both of you really enjoy using the products, and I'm also quite excited about what's to come in 2026. Stay tuned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Bye.